So episode 5 of The Acolyte is where we're hopefully going to get quite the set piece of a showdown between the mysterious Acolyte character, which some have coined Darth Teeth, and the Jedi who were there to check in on Kalnaka. Now, again, just a quick heads up, this might be potential spoilers. It's a theory, so if you don't even want to try and get a hint as to the outcome or the fates of some of the characters, then, you might want to turn back now. What I'm basing this theory on is unused shots in the trailers that we've seen so far. And when I say unused, I mean things that we've not seen. And, common sense as well. We know the episode ended with the Jedi about to be attacked. We know there's going to be a fight. We've seen several promos of the individual battles. Jackie, Yord, Soul, all taking on this mysterious dark side character. And I think the first thing that really, puts my mind to this theory that Soul is going to be the only one outside of May and Osha to walk out of this fight is because, well, firstly, whenever you see characters fighting individually, they're already at threat because they've been isolated. And let's face it, I don't think Jackie or Yord is powerful enough to take down this individual dark side user. So my initial belief is that this is going to be a bloodbath. I think that, clearly the red shirt Jedi are going down, the sort of no-name figures who are there just to make up numbers. They are most definitely getting taken out, like the Jedi who got taken out, with Palpatine and Mace Windu. They were fodder just so that we could get to the main event. And so my reasoning for Soul being the sole survivor is based again on some shots that we see in the trailer. Now, we know that, again, Soul and the Darkside user are going to fight one-on-one. It looks as though when Soul is talking to this, to the Acolyte, I'm going to start calling him, is when he's looking down, what I presume is the body of another fallen Jedi. And Soul asks him, what are you? And attacks. Now, Soul is seen later on in a cockpit, and the cockpit itself is the Jedi cruiser that they showed up in. In other trailers, that shows that same Jedi cruiser trailing May's ship through what, again, I can only presume are the rings of the planet in the system nearby. Or it could be a shot from later in the show. I'm not sure. There's also a shot of Soul sitting in the cockpit going into hyperspace. So it's clear that Soul's fate does not end on this particular planet. He will survive this fight. And again, this has always been my theory going into this, is that the majority, if not all of those Jedi were going to die, because the point of this show, as many have complained and talked about over the last week, and ever since, I guess, the trailers and the show plot was even hinted at, is that we can't really let word get back to the Jedi Council that there is a Sith. If this character is even a Sith, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding that. So one way of ensuring that, doesn't happen is to kill off any characters that have contact with the Acolyte. And until we get a reveal and find out exactly who he is, then I think most characters who come into contact with him will be slain. I think we're in for a hell of a fight, though. I think that we are going to be getting some really fantastic individual fight scenes. He's clearly going to split them up. I don't know quite how the darkness is going to come into effect. I've got a feeling those moth-like creatures that we saw in the last episode are going to come into play, whether that's going to be to attack the Jedi or whether it's going to be just to act as a deterrent in general. We know that they're attracted to the light of the lightsabers. It could be that that's what saves Soul. The last minute, he's going to get struck down, those moth-like creatures come in, distract the Acolyte, and Soul is able to escape, leaving the rest of his fallen Jedi behind. And maybe later in the show, he tracks down May, or even tracks down May's ship, which is what the Acolyte may take, and he's on a chase. Who knows? I do think he's going to be the sole survivor. Again, the name is a bit of a pun, but let me know what you think. I think that's where we're headed. We're headed for a bloodbath. And I, for one, although I'm a huge fan of Yord and Jackie, I don't want them to die, but I think it would serve as a great plot device if they were just struck down. And that's why Venestra has to show up later on because she loses contact with the Jedi who was sent there. She shows up. I think the scene with her throwing out her lightsaber whip is a little bit of a red herring. I don't necessarily think that she's attacking the Acolyte at that point. It could well be that she's doing something different. She is with another group of Jedi in that shot, so we don't know. But I definitely think that Sol is going to make it through the episode, probably to the end of the show. But the rest of them, they are definitely in danger. So again, let me know what you guys think is going to happen. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to my reaction when the episode comes out in just over a day's time now. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for that next reaction.